Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. We're going to begin our Kabbalat Shabbat service, our service of welcoming this sacred holy day, coming to bring a peaceful, soulful end to quite a week. A week of great holiness and great celebration, of deep memory and reflection. The high holy days of the modern Jewish era, Yom HaZikaron, Yom HaAtzmaut, and Shabbat. Page 10, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עשרו יום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד, כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי עמים אלילים, אדוני שמעני מסע, הוד והדר אוהב לפניו, עוז ותפארת במקדשו, עברו לאדוני משפחות עמים, עברו לאדוני כבוד שמו, ישתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, ויראו מפניו כל הארץ, יגלו בגויים אדוני מלך, ידין עמים במישרים, יללי ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירום יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, לפני אדוני קיבה, ישפוט דבר וצדק, ועמים באמונתו
Page 15.
ותשמח ציון, ותגלנה בנות יהודה, למען משפטיך אדוני.
Elyon.
הים ומלואו תבל ויושבבה נהרות עמך וכף יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל וצדק ועמים במישרים ידבר עליהם, שמרו עדותיו וחוק נתן לעמו. אדוני אלוהינו אתה ענית, אל נושא היית להם ונוקם על עלילותם. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלי. הבו לאדוני כבוד ואהבה. הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו ישתחוו לאדוני. Please to turn. Please turn to page 22. Ana Bechoach. Ana Bechoach, Bechoach, Gedulat Yemincha, Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Kabbalat Amcha, Sagvenu, Tarenu, Nora. Ana Bechoach, Bechoach, Gedulat Yemincha, Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Kabbalat Amcha, Sagvenu, Tarenu, Nora. Ana Bechoach, Gedulat Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Tatir Tzerura, Kabbalat Rina Tamecha, Sagvenu Tarenu Nora. Gedulat Yemincha, Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Kabbalat Amcha, Sagvenu Tarenu Nora. Ve'ana Bechoach, Gedulat Yemincha, Tatir Tzerura, Kabbalat Rina Tamecha, Sagvenu Tarenu Nora.
Lechadoti, page 23.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, היי היי אחד עודי, בני שבת, בני שבת מקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי אור הברכה
ונשמה מקרבה התנערי מאבק לבשי בגדי
תפארת חמים
על יד בן ישי
בית הרחמים
אוהל נפשי
נפשי גאה
איי 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 לכבודי
איי 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 לקראת קלה
איי 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 בנשמה
ונשמת עלייך נקרא
איי 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 לכבודי
איי 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 לקראת קלה
איי 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 בנשמה בנשמה מקרבה איי 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 לכבודי איי 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 בנשמה בנשמה לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתכחי ומה תמי, בך יחפשו עניי עמי ונבנתה עיר עתידה לך דודי. ונשמת מקרבה והיו למשיסה שוסייך
ורחקו כל בבלייך
יסיס עלייך אלוהייך למשוש חזקת וחנתה לך דודי. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על ידי איש וחצי ונשמחה ונגיד לך דודי. לקראת קלה ונשמה מקרבה היי ליי 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 Shabbat
As a community, we offer our condolences to Minna Elias Elias and Amot Barnai and their children Talia and Oren and their entire family on the death of Minna's father, Arthur Elias. We offer them the traditional words of comfort on page 26. Hamakom yinechem etchem betoch sha'ar avalei Zion v'Yerushalayim. May the divine comfort you along with all the other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem.
You may be seated. Please turn to page 27. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, וזמר לשמך העליון.
להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות.
לעשור ולנבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, כי שימחתן לפולך. מה גדול מעשיך? צדיק אתה מה יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה.
שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו.
עוד ינבון בשיבה, דשנים רעננים יהיו.
להגיד כי השליה צורי ולא עוולתה בו אדוני מלך. Page 29. מקולות מים רבים אדירים משברי ים.
אדיר במרום אדוני, עדותיך נאמנו מאוד.
לביתך נאהב הקודש, אדוני, לאורך ימים.
לביתך נאהב הקודש, אדוני, לאורך ימים.
Shabbat Shalom. 70 years sounds like a long time. Long enough for events to become enshrined in history. The Babylonian exile, after all, lasted 70 years. And yet over the course of our 4,000-year story, 70 years, it's but a flash. As Shmuel Rosner in the New York Times shared earlier this week, those of us who are alive to celebrate Israel's 70th birthday have the challenge of balancing our awe at her miraculous achievements in just 7 decades with the humble awareness of how, against the long arc of Jewish history, 70 years can be negligible. Given Judaism's fascination with numbers, is there anything about the number 70 that can help us gain perspective, especially as we gather on this Shabbat, whose opening moments just a few minutes ago contained the last rays of light of the 5th of Iyar, the day of Israel's founding 70 years ago? Maybe something about the Agadic 70 nations of the world. Maybe something about the 70 different names for the city of Yerushalayim. In my learning this week, I discovered something new, something especially beautiful about the number 70. Rabbi Natan of Nemirov was the chief disciple of Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav. In an evocative teaching from his Likutei Halachot, Rabbi Natan elucidates the power of making Kiddush on Shabbat. During the process of creation, Rabbi Natan explains, Shabbat was infused with the essence of the world's holiness. But that holiness is drawn out into the world through our actions, our moral actions, our social actions, and our spiritual and religious actions. Specifically, he teaches, when we hold our cup of wine, yayin, the Hebrew word for wine, by the way, has a numerical value of 70. When we hold our cup of wine and we recite the Kiddush, a prayer composed of, you guessed it, 70 words, we're not just marking sacred time, but we're drawing that cosmic force of holiness out into the world, out into the sphere of human existence. Our words and our behavior when we make Kiddush on Shabbat are a magnet for divine energy. In his teaching, Rabbi Natan then quotes the Talmudic saying, Nichnas yayin, yatsa sod. Wine goes in, and secret comes out. Spend a few minutes with someone who's had just one too many, and you will learn something interesting. But Rabbi Natan meant it another way. What Rabbi Natan meant is that drinking wine at Kiddush is part of our spiritual and intellectual transformation that Shabbat brings on when our deeper understanding of Torah and our more expansive wisdom of life emerges. Drinking wine at Kiddush is what opens our hearts and our souls to the mysteries of life. Rabbi Natan then concludes his teaching with these words. Thus it is through the Kiddush, the time when we ascend to the wonders of wisdom and draw forth the faith of the wise, it is through this that we draw forth the holiness of the 70 faces of Torah. 70 faces of Torah is the sage's expression for the limitless, the continuously evolving interpretations of our sacred texts and traditions. 70 faces alludes to the endless source of Jewish spiritual and existential meaning that is renewed in every generation and in which the echoes of Sinai forever reverberate. The Hebrew word for source is ein, which is spelled with an ayin, which is a letter whose numerical value is 70. So what Rabbi Natan is saying is that the sacred wisdom that's revealed to us each week by reciting the 70 words of Kiddush and drinking the wine, the yayin of 70, is the ritual embodiment of this endless flow of possibility that is contained within Torah, imagined as her 70 faces. I will never rush through Kiddush again. So what might all this mean for us as we make Kiddush tonight, on this first Shabbat of Israel at 70? This milestone birthday for Israel comes at a time, sadly, of diminished hope in the prospects for peace, and elevated fear of war. It comes at a time of diminished effort towards reconciliation and elevated despair. It comes at a time of diminished unity within the Israeli Jewish community and elevated tension between Israel and Jewish communities around the world. We all know that the challenges are immense, that they're complex. And still we celebrate. We celebrate Israel's existence and her astonishing accomplishments. We celebrate the critical contributions that Israel has made to the world in the areas of agriculture and technology and medicine and humanitarian relief. And we also celebrate that which Israel has not yet achieved, because we celebrate the endless potential that Israel has to still realize her dreams of peace and of being a light unto the nations. Rather than become disillusioned or apathetic, rather than become hardened or aloof, we will make Kiddush tonight and continue to release the uncontainable treasure of imagination and hope that can lead Israel to see new pathways, new opportunities, new partners, new vision. With our 70 words and with our wine of 70, We will celebrate Israel at 70 by drawing forth the 70 faces of Torah, the innumerable possibilities that we have no choice but to believe will continue to reveal themselves and that will illuminate for us our path to shalom, our path to peace, our path to shleimut, to wholeness, within and beyond our beloved Israel. Shabbat shalom. Bruchim tihiyu.
The Mariv service begins on page 39A. Please rise. You may be seated. Bracha in middle of page 39A. Page 40. turn to page 41 for the Shema. Page 43A. We join together, top of page 44.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם הלילה מי כמוך בהרים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש אלי נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כיפדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We pray for peace, page 45, Hashkivenu.
ושמור צדקנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים
Page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
ועמד דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי
ויבנו ובחיי כל בן ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמך במברך על המעל באלמנה יתברך
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריך לעילה כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירה מעלה ויאמרו אמן.
We face Yerushalayim for the Silent Amidah, pages 47 through 52, or the words of your heart. blue is on page 53.
יחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון קונה שמיים בארץ. מגן אבות בדברו, מקיים מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לאמור
ביום שבת קודשו, כי ברצה להניח להם.
לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמוע בכל יום תמיד מאוד הברכות.
אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת, מברך שביעי.
ומניח בקדושה לעמי דושני עונג, זכר למעשה בראשית.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. שבנו מטובך, ושמח נפשנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה ישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Kaddish Shalem on page 54.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קראתי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימכון ובחייך בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשא בריחו, לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
יתקבל צלותיהון ואותיהון לכל ישראל, קדם אברהם דיבי שמעיה ואמרו אמן.
אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמעיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומה, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen. We turn to page 55 for Kiddush. See if we can count the words.
מה יפה היום, שבת שלום, מה יפה היום.
hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafe hayom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam uborei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uv'ratzon hidchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'yitziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
And if there are any kids under the age of bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, who want to come here,
And we extend a special welcome to this group visiting us from Minnesota. Is that right? So today's warm for you here then. You're welcome to come up under the talit and receive a blessing along with any other kids that are here.
המלאך הגואל אותי, המלאך הגואל אותי מכל יברך את הנערים וקרב בהם שמי. בשם אבותיי, בשם אבותיי, אברהם ויצחק, וידגו לרוב, וידגו לרוב, בקרב הארץ. And we say for the boys, יברכך, ישמחה אלוהים, כאפרים וכמנשה, for the girls, ישמח אלוהים, כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה, together, יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. You'll find. So while we look for the counting of the Omer, so we are in a special week, no? So which is the week?
So we now move to the counting of the Omer. We find ourselves in the 49-day period between Pesach and Shavuot that we mark by literally counting the 49 days one after the other. And we remember that according to the mystics, this period is part of our individual and collective spiritual preparation to receive Torah, and thus is a time of deep introspection and personal work. To achieve this work and to break it down into step by step, day by day, the Kabbalistic masters devised a system whereby each week of the Omer was assigned a particular trait, and each day of the week focuses on an aspect of that trait. So today we find ourselves on the final day of the week of Tiferet, the week of harmony or splendor. This third week has served as a balance between the first week's focus on chesed, of loving kindness, and the second week's focus on gvura, of discipline and power. It reminds us that the pushes and pulls of those potentially opposing forces, the forces of opening, boundless love, and the forces of strength and boundaries, can sometimes bump up against each other. And it helps us recognize that finding the balance between these forces is in and of itself a value and a virtue. Today in particular, we are invited to live in to the Malchut of Tiferet. Malchut, sovereignty, presence. Taught by our sages to, unlike the other 6 attributes, to be a state of being rather than an activity. What an appropriate quality for Shabbat. Over the next 25 hours, as we embrace this day of Malchut Shel Tiferet, the presence of harmony, the state of being in balance, I invite us to rediscover and reconnect with the things that center us, the people and places, the sounds and songs that ground us, and that help us to notice and embrace and live out this aspiration, this state of harmony in all of the aspects of our lives. The counting of the Omer is on page 63.
And I just want to point out, so as Sarah just mentioned, we're in the week of Tiferet, so we are in Malchut Shabbat Tiferet. So there are kavanot for each one of the weeks on the left side of the page as you move forward in each one of the weeks, and you will see on page 66 the week of Tiferet. But if you wanna see a kavanah on the Malchut, then you have to go to page 17. Got it? I'm sorry, that's not really touch there. But anyway, but the bracha is on page 63. We counted yesterday 20, and we say together the bracha. We say first in English or in Hebrew the kavanah.
I'm about to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer, as it is written in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the 2nd day of Pesach, when an Omer of grain is to be brought as an offering, 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer.
היום 21 יום שהם 3 שבועות
Omer. We now turn to page 56 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו or observing a yard site to remain standing, and as a community we extend our special condolences to the Elias family. Kaddish Yatom Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 58. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemeh rabba be'alma divra kiruteh v'amlich malchuteh b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei Shmeh Rabba Bevorach Leolam Lamei Almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemech dekudasha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran be'elma v'imru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
Shabbat Shalom again. I just want to share some announcements about some exciting things that are happening here in the community in the coming days. First of all, we want to wish a Mazal Tov to Stephen Peck and to his parents, Kate and Brad Peck, his brother Oliver, and his grandmother Judith Peck on his bar mitzvah, which will take place tomorrow afternoon at our mincha service. Probably the most exciting announcement that I want to share with you is this coming Wednesday night, BJ's community auction will be taking place here beginning at 6:30 p.m. The auction is a fantastic opportunity to come together as a community, an evening full of fun, an evening full of fantastic food with our sort of catch theme for the evening, traditional ingredients, contemporary recipes. There's going to be a guest mixologist at the evening. I can't tell you who it is, but if you can spell rabbi backwards, that's a little bit of a hint. The evening, of course, is dedicated to raising funds that will support all of the wonderful things that we do here at B'nai Jeshurun, and there's still time actually to be a sponsor of the auction. Sponsorship dollars will go directly to supporting our new initiative, the Jewish Home Project. So please get your tickets, and please check out the online bidding, which has already started for the more than 400 items that have been donated for our auction. 100 of those are already receiving bids, so don't waste a moment right after Shabbat. Get involved and make sure to be here Wednesday night for a fantastic evening in celebration of our community and all that we are able to together offer one another in our Jewish lives, in our spiritual lives, in our communal lives. I also want to mention that connected to the auction, there is still an opportunity to contribute some reflections to our Shabbat catalog titled 25 Hours that Will Change Your Life. This is a way to share a reflection of your Shabbat life, your family's Shabbat life, that will be put together in a wonderful catalog that will be distributed to all B'nai Jeshurun families, and another wonderful way to help support the auction and all of what we do here in community. I want to mention also that you can still register for the BJ Hazorim CSA, which takes place on Tuesdays, beginning June 5th through October 30th. Of course, our morning minyan meets here at 7:30 in the mornings on weekdays, 9:30 in the mornings on Sundays and all public holidays. There is also, if you walk through our hallways in the community house, an exhibit that is going on now through June 10th entitled Dialogue and Transformation, a photography exhibit of Israeli settlers and Palestinian women. So please make sure to check that out between now and June 10th. Tomorrow morning services will begin at 9:30 here in the sanctuary. It is Teen Shabbat. Our services will be led by our teens, sure to be an incredibly inspiring moment when we see how the investment that we make in the next generation comes back to bring us so many blessings. Children's services begin at 10:45 in the reception room, in the middle room. K-2 family Shabbat experience, also 10:45 in Frankel Hall. And the Kulanu service in the chapel, also 10:45. Following Kiddush tomorrow in the chapel, there will be a conversation about combating climate change through fossil fuel divestment. I mentioned there will be Mincha at 5:30, celebrating the Bar Mitzvah of Stephen Peck. And at 8 p.m., a Pete Seeger and Friends guitar sing-along at 8 p.m. downstairs in Frankel Hall. On Sunday, the 22nd of April at 2 p.m., there will be a wonderful celebration here for our kids in grades K through 5 to celebrate Israel. A fantastic party with games and food and lots of fun. You can check out our KJ for more information. I also want to mention a very unique event that's taking place on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. when we will be honoring Civil War soldiers who are buried at Beit Olam Cemetery. The ceremony is going to include a color guard, Civil War reenactors, special presentations, and a tour of the cemetery decorating the graves of Jewish veterans who fought in the Civil War who are buried at Beit Olam. And 2 BJ members will be honored as well. Alfred Rafal, son of Rabbi Morris Rafal, was the BJ rabbi during the Civil War, and Abraham Kahn, who's a Union Army soldier and who is a recipient of the Army's highest military decoration for valor in combat, the Medal of Honor. Beit Olam Cemetery is located at the intersection of Cypress Hill Street and Jackie Robinson Parkway and is accessible from the J train. If anyone has any questions about that, you can speak to Bob Cantor for more information. Monday, April 23rd, I invite you to come and learn with me at 8:30 in the morning in our Monday morning Beit Midrash series, which is called V'higadat levincha, and you shall tell your children. It's an opportunity during the weeks between Pesach and Shavuot to spend time delving into some wonderfully thought-provoking texts about the ways in which our questions about Jewish life and Jewish identity are evolving in our modern world, and the ways in which we can engage our children and respond to their very important questions about why be Jewish today and how ought we be Jewish today. So I invite you Monday morning, 8:30 to 9:30. Monday Mincha meditation will take place in the chapel at 6:30 p.m., which is an opportunity for us to explore meditation techniques and to build a community meditation practice. And for those who are saying Kaddish, there will be the opportunity to recite Mourner's Kaddish at that time. 7 p.m. on Monday evening in the BJ Middle Room, the BJ SPSA Racial Justice Task Force will be meeting to learn about new plans and to meet a new partner, the Fair Housing Justice Center. On Tuesday, the 24th of April, in the evening at 7 p.m., we have the next program in the Ritual Lab series that right now is focusing on creating a ritual in preparation for becoming empty nesters. It's an opportunity to learn and create with Rabbi Michael Boyno and Cantor David Mintz, what it might mean to create a rite of passage, a Jewish ritual to mark the moment when we become empty nesters. I think I need to show up at that one, but I can't because at the same time I'm teaching my everyday ethics class, which is a weekly opportunity to delve into, again, some wonderfully thought-provoking texts that help elucidate for us the way in which we make the decisions that we do every single day between right and wrong and good and bad. This is a class that helps us pay much more attention to the everyday ethical choices that come our way. It is a class that is built on the ethicist column from the New York Times. We choose a different submission each week, and we then amplify our conversation around it with the use of Jewish text and Jewish wisdom. And it's a very lively and really wonderful class. This coming week, we will be looking at issues of end-of-life issues, the ethics of consuming and spending healthcare dollars for terminally ill patients. Finally, I just want to welcome Rabbi Deborah Rappaport in the 8th grade class from Shir Tikva in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as we saw them earlier. And I want to welcome everyone who's visiting us here for the first time. If we haven't had a chance to meet you yet, please make sure to come over to us after services so we get to know you and to welcome you and to introduce you to the wonderful people that make this community the vital, warm, and exciting place it is to live one's Jewish life in deep fellowship together. So I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, welcome, and we're going to conclude.
Just one last announcement. Those of you who sign up for the dinner with me, we're going to be in the chapel, so through that door on your left, the first room on your right. So come to the chapel as the service ends, and then if you didn't sign up but you want to be there, you can check if there's room. So Shabbat Shalom. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. סלם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם שלום. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, ועל כולם. שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom.